it's worth experimenting a little with the Isolate Layer tool. If I select one of these entities that makes up the rock pathway leading to the front door of this design, you can see that it's on a layer called Rocks. Under Tools and Isolate Layers, we could move down and select the Rocks layer and say OK. What that does is shows everything that's on the Rocks layer. And you can see I've got one entity on the wrong layer. And that's a clue to help me clean up the drawing. To return things to the all layers on, just say visibility on. And what I could then do is I want the properties of that garden bed edge there to match this one. So it would be modify, match properties, pick up the properties of this layer here. I'll just make sure that my clear all and take object snap off. Right click and choose modify, match properties again, and pick that one and pick this one. Now the two lines match one another for line type, settings and layer, and I can be confident that the Rocks layer just has the elements that constitute the design for the path. I'll show later in another movie how you can use the hatching pattern with a special line type pattern to put that sort of hatching in the area rather than draw each individual rock using the polyline command. So the Isolate Layer tool can be used for all sorts of purposes as a really good way of checking what you have on particular layers and doing it quickly and easily. We'll often use it when we are using the shadow tool. So if I come over here on the right hand side of the drawing, you may be able to see that there is no shadowing has been applied. So let's put some shadowing on, and then you will isolate the shadow layer. So it's gCADPlus shadow, pick the entities that we want to shadow, these symbols. Don't have to be symbols, they can be rectangles and other elements. Right click, shadow angle we'll leave at -45, and I'll just indicate that I want a shadow length of about there. Now the shadows have been applied. If we went to the landscape plan and zoomed in on that area, you can see we have more definition in the symbols over here. You might be able to compare that one there with this one here. So the shadow is a useful tool, and if we select shadows, you can see it's on the line L-PLNT shadow, and we could isolate just that layer. Tools, Isolate Layer, L-Plant Shadow, and OK, and all we should see are the shadow elements of the group that we just applied the shadow to. Again, pick the tool, move over here and say we want the visibility of all layers on, and everything comes back.